Right, welcome. I will be showing you how to design this beautiful flyer. Alright, the first thing you need to actually do is to open a workspace on Canva. So you go and then create a workspace. Use a custom size and then choose 180 by 180. So we create a design. The moment this is done, the first thing to do is to change the background to black. So tap on the workspace and then come to color, and then you are changing it to black. Then next I will go to elements, and then I'm going to look for a frame. So I'm going to search for frame. So I'm going to search for a frame of letter J. So you search for a frame of letter J. Okay, so make sure that whenever you're choosing a letter here, the letter is going to be the same style that you're going to be using. So I'll just go with this. So I have my J. Let me minimize it and put it somewhere here. Then I will go back again and bring in letter A. So you do it for anything you want to spell out. But in my own case, I'm just going to be doing abbreviation of January. So I'll just do Jan. All right. Okay, so I'm going to make it the same size. All right, so then I'll go back again and bring in the last letter, which is letter N. All right, so at this stage you're just going to adjust them to make them have equal size and equal spacing. So you take your time to do that. All right, so as soon as you're done with this, then you can actually group them together and just select everything. We just want to make it to fall at the center of the design. Okay, I think this is okay for me. So next I'm going to bring in another type of element. So you go to element and then you just type grunge. So you come to photos and you come up here and then click on this adjustment button. Then I will be going for this blue color. I'm just setting it to make it search for this type of color. So I have this now. I want to go with this style. I love this, so I'm going to rotate it. Make sure it is at angle 90, either minus 90 or plus 90. Then I will duplicate this and then slide it over the letter G so that it can go into that frame of letter G. Then I'm going to bring the second one around the letter J, and then I will crop it to be exactly the width of that letter. And I want to leave this at this stage. Okay, fine. So I'll be sending this to the back so that we can have the letter on it. All right, so the next thing to do is to go to the element section, and then I am going to change the search type to a different color. So I'm going to choose this orange this time around, then click on done. Then come to photos. All right, so you see varieties of things that has to do with that kind of color. So I'm going to go with this. I think I love this. So I will rotate it again to angle 90, bring it to a side here, and then duplicate it. Then you slide one of it over the letter A till it enters the frame. So I'll bring the second one equally to this side over the letter, and then I'll ensure that I trim it accordingly to the size of the letter A, especially with the width, and then the height with the other element grunge that we brought in this blue, the same height. Right, so once that is done, then I will take it to the back of the letter. Okay, so the last one is letter N. This is abbreviation of January. Actually, you can decide what you want to do. And please take note, once you want to pick something around this area and you are not getting it along this toolbar, just click outside this black workspace first. Then other tools will appear. So I'll just click on element again, and then this time I want to look for a different color. So you repeat the same thing by clicking on that, and then I want to just go with, I think this color, this green color is cool by me, so I'll just click on done. So I'm going to come to photos again and then look for design that I want to use. I think this is also cool for me, so I'm going to rotate these to angle 90. I'll duplicate it again, slide one over letter N, and then I'll bring these over, then crop it around the letter. Especially they must be the same width, please take note of that. Then the height will now be same height with other grunge that I brought in initially. Then I can send it to the back. Alright, the moment this is done, the next thing that I will be doing is to bring in a gradient. So we go to element again. This time around, make sure you come to this where you do is setting for the search for elements, and then you clear all, and then you're going to click on done. So you type in here gradient. Once that is done, then you come to the graphics section, then you can scroll and then look for a gradient that will work. I think I love this, so I'm going to select this. Alright, and you can now flip it. Be careful so that you don't move it around and then it will fall into the frame. So we will first flip it. Go to where you are flip, and then you flip. Let's take it vertically. Alright, so the next thing I want to do is to send the gradient to the back. Let me make it sit down properly first. Okay, so I'm going to make it come to the back. Alright, so once that is done, then you can now bring the the grunge, each one of them, and then you send them to the back of that reflection as well. So let's quickly do that so that the letter will be appearing distinctive from what we have before. Alright, so once this is done, then the next thing to do is to bring in an artwork that will look sweet. So I want to just look at something around a beach display kind of. So let's look for that, and then you come around graphics here, and then you scroll till you find something that best suits your choice for the purpose. Alright, let's scroll down and then see. Let's use this for instance. Okay, so you can just minimize that. If the color is not representing what you want, you can play around it and then do something just meaningful that you want to use. Alright, so the next thing I would do is to take one of these gradients that we have and duplicate it, and then I'm going to actually flip it this time around horizontally again, or vertically actually. So, and then I will drag it down so that I can give it that shade. Alright, so just position it properly the way that you know will best suit what you want. And we are practically almost done with this design. So the last thing you will do is to just add the text down here. So I will just come here and then bring in a text. So I want to do something. Let me just write a fresh start. That will be fine. Fresh starts. So that is what I want to caption around here. So I will just bring the text and then bring it down here. Position it in the middle so that it will balance your design. Alright, so I can just do something around here. So let me change the color actually to white, and then I can change the font to whatsoever I want. So I will change the font to something that is interesting. So go to the font size, and then you can change the write up to something that best suits your choice. And then the moment this is done, you can do some other crazy things around your design as much as you want. So once this is done, then I want to bring in something like a rope. Let me see if I can see something that represents a rope around here. Okay, all right, so this is what I want. So I'll just bring this here. You can zoom in and then change the color so that you can see what you're doing. I'll just change this to white. Let me reduce it to something I can say. All right, so this is not bad. Then I'm going to duplicate this. I'm just going to duplicate these and take it to the other side just to give it a balance, you know. So we just do that to give it a balance. Make sure you position it properly. Okay, that's fine. So it's not too cool to just leave this rope cut in halfway here. So I want to give it something like a gradient that will make it look as if, you know, it's fading off to the background. So I'll just take one of these gradients that we have, and then I can resize it and bring it around here. So just resize it to a smaller one, and then you bring it around here. So I'm going to rotate it this time around to stand vertically. All right, so and then I'll bring it here and then make it have the faint fading. Okay, so I'll duplicate these and take it to the other side of the design as well. So at this stage, I'm going to flip it or you rotate it, either one that is comfortable for you. So you just do that, and then you can position it properly around the write up. All right, so that is it. I believe you enjoy this design. So the next thing to do is to export your design, and then you are done. You can actually do some other things that you want around it, and then you will like it. You can put your logo, put some other things that you want, and that brings us to the end of this design.